What is going on, good people of YouTube? I'm ImJslay. Thank you so much for joining me, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're playing some Madden 21, but before we get into it, if you enjoy the content, leave a like rating, and if you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button, and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. If you missed our previous video, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for you to go check it out. But if you missed it, you missed episode 7 of rebuilding the Atlanta Falcons. Go check that video out. So for today's video, I am going to be discussing what I believe and who I believe are the best archetype for wide receivers and the best wide receivers in the game, respectively. Now, these are my opinions. These are players that I have either used or I know would be valuable based on their stats and based on some of the other players that I have used. And I'm going to talk a little bit as to why and what you can do with these players, and specifically the abilities, and how you can save ability points to use in other areas. So first things first, let's go ahead. I want to actually go into my item binder, and I want to look at a couple of items, a couple of players specifically. So the first one we're going to look at is Tyreek Hill. Now, Tyreek Hill, in my opinion, is not one of the best cards in the game. Now, as far as one of the best wide receivers in the game, speed, deep route running, go get him. He works. He's great. He's obviously on my team. I switched over to a Chiefs theme team with the 49ers as a dual theme team because of him. Now, do I use him and do I throw to him as often as I throw to what I'm going to get into? No, I don't. That's just basically because of, number one, my scheme, right? Number two, a few other factors which we'll get into. But let's take a look at Tyreek Hill. Now, I don't have him fully powered up. However, we can get an idea of what I'm going to be touching on here today. So, 7,900 training just to get him all the way up to level. I guess it's worth it, right? But nonetheless, I'm not going to spend that right now. There's no point. So I want to come over here and I want to show you the abilities. Now, first thing I'm going to touch on before we go into the abilities, take a look at his archetype right underneath the WR, right next to the 95 OVR, right above his name. Bam. That should be right where we're looking at, right? Deep threat. Okay, so there's different archetypes in the game. You've got, for wide receivers, you've got deep threat, physical, slot, and then route runner. I think that's all of them. Now, I want to go ahead and take a look at his abilities. So because he is a deep threat, he's going to have a lesser ability point for some of the deeper routes, for some of the deeper chemistries, right? For some of the deeper abilities that call for, right? So as an example, deep and elite is only 1 AP. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe if you have like a slot receiver, that's going to be maybe 2 AP, right? So let's come on down here, though. I want to show you a couple of the most valuable abilities to run on wide receivers. First one's going to be Slot Apprentice. Now, because he has the deep threat archetype and not the slot archetype or route runner archetype, it requires 2 ability points for him to have Slot Apprentice. And if you know anything about Slot Apprentice, it allows you to get 4 additional hot routes while lined up in the slot. And gun bunch, split close. I mean, even in trips tight end, although it's not necessarily as valuable in trips tight end, but you know, other schemes, other offensive schemes, other offensive playbooks that run different formations that will require Tyreek Hill to be in the slot. This is going to require 2 ability points. If you get a route runner or you get a slot archetype, it's only 1 ability point. That's going to free up extra ability points that you can use to put other items onto your team, whether that be Gunslinger, which is 1 ability point for your strong arm archetypes, Pocket Deadeye, Quick Draw, all day on your offensive line, right? Just to name a few, right? These are all 1 ability points. And by using the correct archetype for the abilities that you want, you can help to maximize that. Let's take a look at another one. Route Technician, right? One of the better abilities in the game. Really one that can set you apart when you're talking about beating man coverage, right? Route Technician on Tyreek Hill is a 3 ability point ability. You want to put that on a slot or a route running archetype wide receiver? It's only 2 ability points. You're saving, now you've saved, if you use a Slot Apprentice and a Route Technician on the same card, you've saved 2 ability points right there that you can put on other items. Now, it goes without saying that if you get this Tyreek Hill and you do power him all the way up, you got him on a Chiefs theme team, you got double sprinter put on him, or 30 sprinters or however many sprinters it needs to be, you're going to get him up to 99 speed, right? Which is valuable. I'm at 97 speed right now, and that's a lot faster than some of the other wide receivers that we're going to be talking about here today. So that may make up for a little bit, but by the same token, he falls a little shy of the medium route running if you've got all the way up to tier 8 of play fake, right? He does meet the short route running archetype or route running abilities, and without even powering him up, his deep route running is 94, right? So, I mean, it goes without saying, I believe with go deep, and if you have him all the way powered up, that's going to be at 99. So if you want to just run him, which is how I use him in my offense, as that stretch the field kind of guy, you know, that would be valuable to have. Obviously, that goes without saying. I'm getting off topic here a bit, but nonetheless, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the archetypes and then how you can save on the ability points when it comes to constructing your team and constructing your offense, right? I hope all that made sense. Now, without further ado, let's get into what this actual video is about. So I'm going to be showing you, in my opinion, the top 3 wide receivers, all around wide receivers in the game, and what the best archetype is. Okay, so in my opinion, the 2 best wide receiver archetypes, the first one is going to be slot. Now, unfortunately for the slot wide receivers, the best one in the game right now is this Brandon Aiyuk, and he's going to be outclassed by some better route runner archetype wide receivers, which, spoiler alert, that is going to be the best archetype, in my opinion, for wide receivers. It's going to be that case right now, and I believe throughout the entire lifespan of MUT, that's going to be the case, right? But Brandon Aiyuk right now is going to be your best slot wide receiver archetype. He's got 92 speed just with his base card. A lot of people run 49er theme teams. If you go ahead and get 50 of them, you get double sprinter. He's getting all the way up to 96 speed, which is pretty solid. Now, the route running is where he does fall short, and in my opinion, that's why the route runner archetype is the best. However, when you take into account that Brandon Aiyuk has the slot archetype, route technician is only 2 ability points. Slot apprentice is only 1 ability point. Now, some others that have the route runner archetype are going to be Golden Tate. We can go ahead and show you him. He's lacking a bit, though, unfortunately. So here's Golden Tate, 88 speed. I mean, you're just not doing anything with that. I mean, Golden Tate's been on a few teams, so if you do run a theme team from a team that he has been on, Giants, Lions, few others, can't remember. Not too bad, right? But the route running's lacking. It's just the slot wide receiver archetype is going to be valuable once the year progresses and we get some higher overalls right now. I mean, but you're basically looking at Golden Tate. You're looking at Brandon Aiyuk. And that's pretty much it. Justin Jefferson's another one here. He's going to get you that speed that you'd like to see at 90 overall, but that's even not that great, right? Because you're going to need to put dual sprinter on him. You're going to need to get him on a Vikings theme team for him to even be valuable, and the route running aspect of his game is not lacking when it comes to MUT, or is lacking when it comes to Ultimate Team here. So needless to say, the slot archetype is a great archetype, just like the route runner archetype is, because of what you can do with the ability points. But nonetheless, there's just not many usable wide receivers in that type right now. Now, the best archetype is going to be the route running archetype, right? So let's go ahead and let's show you a couple of the wide receivers. We're going to go through 3 of them, right? So the first one is going to be Stphon Diggs. Now, believe it or not, I don't even know how I did this. I sniped this card for like 125K. I'm not saying you're going to be able to get anywhere near that at the time of this video. As you can see, he's going for 213K. I got him for 125. I was torn between him and the number 1 person that you're going to see on this list here. But when I saw him for 125, I said, I got to snag this guy, right? There's no way I can let him go by. But, so he's got 91 speed. You put him in his power up, that's 92. I've got tier 1 sprinter on him, right? Or I think it's tier 2. I've got 15 guys that have sprinter on him, so I get that +1 speed. So he has 93 speed. So he's not going to compete when it comes to the likes of Tyreek Hill and a few other wide receivers in terms of the speed. But look at the route running there. He's going to meet just about all the thresholds, not counting deep route running, once we get him up to tier 8 play fake. And I've got him running on those crossing routes, those post routes, those corner routes, some medium routes that you like to see. So him having that 95 medium route running is the most important thing for me. So, and with him being a route runner, we've already seen, well, we haven't seen. Let's take a look at it real quick. So here is my Stphon Diggs that I have. I'm going to come over here. First off, let's look at his attributes. I told you 93 speed, right? 95 short, 95 medium route running, meeting those thresholds there. 94 catching, falling just shy, but I mean, the dude's not going to drop catches. So let's take a look here. Now, he gets route tech on the first slot there, which if you want to put multiple abilities on him, frees him up for some of the better, even better abilities, even though Route Technician is probably the best one, or one of the best ones that you can put on a wide receiver. But you can see it's only 2 AP. Remember with Tyreek Hill, your physical wide receivers, those guys, they're going to be 3 AP. So I'm saving right there. But let's go ahead. I don't know if I can get Slot Apprentice right here. I can. I can get Slot Apprentice right here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Slot Apprentice, even on a Route Runner archetype, is only 1 AP. Remember, on a deep threat, on a physical, it's going to be 2. So you're saving yourself AP by going with Stphon Diggs over, say, a DK Metcalf, right? That's how you want to think about constructing your team. So Stphon Diggs is going to be, in my opinion, the 3rd best wide receiver in terms of overall viability and use on a team. Now, the 2nd wide receiver, in my opinion, just a hair better than Stphon Diggs. I mean, we're not talking... I mean, literally, they're interchangeable, in my opinion. You'll see why in a second. Let's go ahead and bring him up, though, and you'll understand why he's... They're pretty much interchangeable here, because one stat might be, or one attribute might be a little better than the other in one of the players, and the other might be a little better than the other, right? If I'm making sense here. So the next one's going to be Julio Jones. So this guy now is $223K, very similar as far as price goes. However, he's got some other items that you're going to have to buy, or that you're going to have to purchase with coins, or you're going to have to use power-up passes on. So he's going to end up actually being a lot more expensive when you take that into account, unless you use your power-up pass on him in certain ways. The way I did Stphon Diggs, I have my 85 to 86 overall power-up pass on him, and then, remember, I just bought his for $125K. I couldn't believe it. But let's take a look at this Julio Jones card. So keep in mind, I'm going to talk you through when it's fully powered up here, right? So fully powered up, he's going to have 92 speed. You want to get the extra sprinters on him, he's going to go up to 94 speed. In my case, he would be just as fast as Stphon Diggs, right? However, that height right there at 6'3", I feel like that sets him apart a little bit. Diggs is only 6 foot, 6'1", I believe. You can see in the route running department too, Julio falls a little shy of Diggs. Now, the medium route running, it's going to only be 94. I feel like I said, these two are interchangeable when it kind of comes down to it, but we all know Julio's card, it just plays differently, right? Some of the cards in MUT, they just play differently. Julio's one of them. That height's going to help him out a ton when you consider he's still going to have the 93 speed once you get him in his power up. Once you go ahead and get a tier 1 sprinter on him, or 15 guys with sprinter, 30 guys are going to get him up, I think 30, are going to get him up to 94 speed, right? So not quite there at Tyreek, not even quite there at DK Metcalf, but when you consider the fact that he's a route runner archetype, he has very good route running attributes as it is without even putting any chemistries on him. The ability points you're going to be able to save by, if you want to put Route Tech, or if you want to put Slot Apprentice on Julio, that's going to be the way to go. That's why he is the 2nd wide receiver here. So Diggs and Jones, they're pretty interchangeable. I would go Diggs. I did go Diggs, obviously, because of the cost, right? Because of the price. However, like I said, Julio's card, it always plays better. Now, the next one and the last one we're going to look at before we get up out of here is going to be Chad Johnson. Ocho Cinco, 85, man. Throw the ball to 85. He's wide open. Listen, I don't know what that was, but Chad Johnson is the best wide receiver in the game. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just look at his 93 overall card. I'm sorry. I'm going to look at his 94 overall card. This is the fully powered up card. If you were not aware, that 93 overall card goes into his power up, right? The one that you can get from doing his Legend Challenge, or just purchasing from the auction house for like $13K. That 93 item goes into that power up. This item will not go into a power up. This one is the fully powered up version already, right? But it doesn't make sense because it's 700K. You'll see his 93 overall item, 228K. It's not going to be an additional 450K or whatever it is to power him up, right, with the training that you're going to spend. So don't get the 94 overall version. Get that 93 overall version. Go ahead and put that in the power up. That's what you want to do. Do not buy this version right here, this 94 overall version. It does not make sense. The reason it's so expensive is because it's a limited item. You can't find this in packs anymore, but don't buy this one until they come out with a Series Redux. Then go ahead and buy it, because then you don't have to spend the training to power him up, right? But let's take a look at the item and why it's the best, right? So Diggs, remember, coming out with base 91 speed, put him in the power up 92, so on and so forth. Same thing with Julio. Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, 93 speed. get that sprinter on him. If you want to run him on a Patriots theme team, a Bengals theme team, I think those were the only two teams he was on. If memory serves me correctly, forgive me. But you want to do that, he's going to get up to 96 speed, right? But 95 speed if you get that sprinter on him without running him on a theme team. Look at the route running stats. 91 short, 91 mid, 92 deep. Go deep's obviously going to get over 95. You put play fake on him, both the short and the mid are going to get over that 95. So this right here is the best receiver in the game. He has that route runner archetype. We've already been able to establish that his route tech is going to be a 2 AP versus your physical, your deep threats are going to be a 3 AP. And then his slot apprentice is going to be a 1 ability point ability. The others, as we've touched on with the exception of the slot archetypes, those are going to be 2 ability points. So you can save, you can maximize on your abilities by getting the correct archetype and getting those players to plug in to use on your team. So this is the wide receivers. These are the best wide receivers to use in my opinion. I think it's going to be this way throughout. Look at some of your other players, right? Look to see if, for example, putting Gunslinger on Aaron Rodgers, who's an improviser archetype, I don't understand that, makes more sense, or if it makes more sense to put it on Josh Allen or Dante Culpepper, who have the strong arm archetype, right? Look at your roster, see where you can save on ability points. That's going to allow you to get the most abilities out on the field, and then that's going to allow you to perform better when you're playing in head-to-head, right? I feel like that goes without saying. So I hope this video made sense. I hope you did enjoy the video. By all means, if you have a question, a comment, something that I did not cover, something that you were unsure about, leave that in the comment section down below. I love interacting with each and every one of you down there. Hey, if you just want to say what's up, man, say that in the comment section. I'll go ahead and heart that, and I'll say what's up back to you. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like rating. Helps me out a ton. And if you'd like to see more content, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. I'm ImJslay. I'm signing out today. I'll catch you all on my next video.